Uh, Up until today, I'm faced with all of these schizophrenic individuals. The first funeral was on September 21st, 2019. I was sleeping, I spent the night in Algiers, and somehow I was getting revenge from the individuals which were in my surroundings, as well as I keep on getting some sort of paranoia. I explained my life. I went outside of this where there are all of those criminals and schizophrenic individuals. Where I go as a civilized individuals, and I speak with the Ministry of Justice. I speak with the court, and I speak with all of those individuals. There are these individuals who are taking me from someone else. I have my emails, and I can trace my first email back with an institution in Southampton. That was in December 2012. Prior to December 2012, it was about heat processes as well as all of the other stuff. And I keep on having these individuals who have convinced themselves about an idea and they keen on applying it. Uh, yes, actually, I can go back and yes, and when I contacted yes, and I have these individuals who just keep a laugh, and all of those stuff. And when I have mentioned my resume to them and everything else, well, they just keep on acting in a manner which is not. In a manner which is not adequate. And there was like the Qatar Airways situation. And I keep on telling this to the individuals in here, but apparently they rather sit there and commit crimes. My first email account was from Yahoo, and I have all of these individuals that I face who actually display bitchiness and sassiness. And I don't know where their calculation comes from, but to tell to the individuals, it has always been this way, basically. Anywhere else, and I managed to closely monitor the situation and see what's going on, and it has been the case repeatedly. And there are like these serious individuals who are trying basically to work with me as well as a lot more, and I'm faced with a ton of load of crap basically. And basically someone is do not work and is a thief and he needs to supply some sort of an alibi, and individuals are providing him with that alibi basically. And when I said with individuals, I picked up the phone and I wrote my tweet and I sent it to the United States, and shortly after I contacted the US presidency. And basically it's a lot of fanatics, it's a lot of people who are completely deranged, as well as a lot more it has been like a trend of an unbelievable trend of attack. I was supposed to get some sort of medical treatment. I go to the authorities and I explain the situation or the case. Apparently, their only job is to say that I'm guilty of crimes that I'm even not aware that they have happened. And I have all of those emails, and I go on over to the individuals, but apparently it's a cover up about a baby being born, a cover up about a lot of things, and it was during the period of time when the Algerian national team had only 2 points in the African Cup of Nations, and they managed to involve a lot of individuals. And basically, like I have like a lot and 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 a lot of email. There's like Rafiq UB. There is like Aslazili. He was asking me, and I sent him a work about. And I sent him a work about how to say this. And I sent him a work about. I sent him a work about Rompul book, and that was about prosperity. And I keep basically on facing these individuals who are simply there and they are committing a crime, and it's not like a humanitarian issue, it's like a criminal issue. It's like an investigation about a multi-billion dollar of suspicious money or suspicious transactions. And then there is a lot and a lot and a lot and a lot more basically. And I still have my for Institute for Klimaschutz, Energie und Mobilität. And when I tell to the individuals that I lived in Europe, however, when I sell to the individuals like, well, people simply refuse to hire me for no apparent reason. Then there are criminals who have committed basically the crimes. And now it's like there is like and now there is like an assault situation. And when I see the solar system, the assault situations happen between the buildings, meaning like in the road between 76 and 71. And these individuals basically is like they grew up on some kind of situation. And yep, and it's like there are like a lot of individuals involved in some sort of strange actions. When they have like a long strategic planning, which makes them dangerous. And I go in here, and on May 8, 2019, they have literally committed an act of state aggression against the sitting president at that period of time. And well, everyone was well aware of that. And it was basically like it's like a dangerous situation basically. Apparently, when I tell you this is like these individuals believe that it's a fantasy, the work of some of the companies that exist, that it's a fantasy. But then when you see at the outside or the outskirts of the country, like in all those places, it's completely different. It's like there's like a lot of work to be done. Money is not lost; it's basically kept, and we were basically stuck with people who were telling us lies for several years, and then it's like this is now I understand what's on TV and talking about individuals is like they make the wrong assessment in the wrong place, and this is my own situation, and I'm faced with hostage takers, sex traffickers, as well as a lot more. And basically, we have to succumb to the craziness of certain individuals. And I say craziness and non professionalism because there is no strong basis that they stand upon. And I go in here and I speak with the individuals, and he literally say is like, okay, at first they have no understanding of the meaning of privacy. And as the people in the Asian continent and the European continent, I remained focused on energy, environment, as well as a lot more. And I explained my situation and my case. And the thing is that they have only or they are only in a situation where they watch by big powerful people that they how to say that they have somehow polished their behavior, and there has been like the disdain coming like from part of the community in Sweden, and basically I wasn't receiving the right emails, and I go basically like to investigate what has happened because I have a huge bump on my head, and they think it's normal. Basically, it's like they were like, yeah, everyone trying like to live in peace, and these individuals try to live in. Yes, and I went there, and I remember the year 2017, the year 2016, and basically they decided to commit some kind of revenge and get away with it, and it didn't work quite normally. And I could say that the European individuals that I met were somehow cruel, and the cruelty has several levels. Some were at level 11, others were at level 10, as way more. The reason for that is that they had a disbelief about my background and the things that I have done in my life, including my travel to Tunisia on April 8, 2019. However, I'm faced with individuals whom their mother didn't raise them at all, or they raised them to attack a bank, a monarchy, and presidents. And individuals basically, like when I see in photos, they fill their day by like working on things. And One type of the cruelty is that I work on a lot of things in several areas, and basically they are too greedy in terms of money. And few of the individuals who are just a journalist decide to involve themselves in an extremely complicated work, and they pay criminals in third country states in order to steal their work and basically add additional instability. And when I speak to the individuals, if I go back to the year 2014, 2015, it was completely chaotic and I was writing some stuff. Then 2016 it was complete hell, and I have this individual, somehow he's head of state or president or head of the army or something like that, and he has a high level of playfulness, and few of them have some kind of crap coming out of their mouth. And the thing with that is that they add some sort of professionalism to the matter in order within their own country to elevate or to increase the percentage of the poverty level or the people living under poverty. By doing that, they increase the level of they made all of those offshore, they make 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 all of those offshore payment, not offshore payment, but they make all of those offshore, they make all of those offshore work, and they make all of that work in order to make people less or more, or in order to make people more dependent or more basically to drive individuals to the level of the individuals to the level of extreme poverty. And they are like service holders in the IT area. They don't even provide me with the services as other individuals, and I basically do not know the reason for that, and the reason for that is only criminals. Now it's like there has been like someone who has been assaulted, and there has been like some kind of assault, and then there has been like some kind of assault, and an individual is carrying a baby, and way more, and it's just utter cruelty from these individuals. It's like it's like they're just voilà, ils nous attaquent sans aucune raison, et si on leur dit de travailler, ils refusent de faire ça. Et je connais tous les gens, et ces gens c'est une situation de prise d'otage. Comme il y a beaucoup de témoignages et beaucoup de, how to say this, de preuves, c'était seulement un cas grave de prise d'otage.